In 1968, while the Beatles were quietly falling apart, George Harrison was reaching his limit. For years, he'd lived in the creative shadow of Lennon and McCartney, two towering forces who steered the band's direction. But George had grown restless. His songs were often brushed aside, left behind, or never taken seriously. He was done staying quiet. After a tense spiritual retreat in India, George returned with something to say, and he put it into a new track, Not Guilty. Unlike the Beatles' usual themes of love, peace, or psychedelic bliss, this song was a sharp, subtle confrontation. It was George pushing back. He was tired of being blamed for drifting into spirituality, for shaking up the band's dynamic, for daring to speak up. I'm not guilty for getting in your way while you're trying to steal the day. Those weren't just lyrics. They were a shot across the bow at John and Paul. A calm, cool refusal to take the fall for the Beatles' unraveling. The recording sessions were brutal. Over 100 takes, one of the most grueling processes in Beatles history. George fought for the song. John and Paul didn't seem to care. In the end, Not Guilty was left off the White Album. Ironic, really. A song about being ignored, was ignored. But George didn't forget. 11 years later, in 1979, long after the Beatles had burned out, he finally released it on his self-titled solo album. The tone was softer, more introspective. Time had cooled the anger, but not the message. It was still his quiet rebellion, a reminder that before he found peace, he had to fight to be heard. Listening to Not Guilty today is like opening a letter that was never delivered. It's the sound of a man caught between friendship and frustration, faith and fame. George Harrison didn't just write a song, he reclaimed his voice. And in doing so, he set the stage for the freedom he'd finally claim after the Beatles were gone.